So this is Nick Barrett at the Snooker Gym with Umr Hayat, and we're in Oslo for a snooker training, December 2018. And last year we spent some time together with Umr, and I wanted to give Umr a platform to share his experience over the last year, because he made rather an important milestone for snooker players. Tell us a little bit about what that milestone is and what your goal was last year.
Yeah, I mean, last year I was like on my 37th century, and I was thinking, it's not like I'm not getting that fluency, you know. I was not getting that consistency in my game, and I knew that I can play better than that, you know.
Yeah.
And then I met you and I were coaching with you and stuff like that, and then after having a session with you, and then my game started improving, and I start doing more regularly, start doing 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
And then after 2 weeks, then I made my 100 after a long time, like after 3 weeks. It was,
so you hadn't had a turn for 3 weeks?
No. Yeah. So then I was thinking like, okay, I have to stay with my pre-shot return. I trusted my technique, and I stick with that, and then gradually, you know, I was making centuries like more often.
And what was this big milestone that you reached?
I've done my 100th century in.
Congratulations!
Thank you. Within a year, so I've made approximately 64 centuries, you know, already. So in a year, and that was very unexpected.
Yeah, great.
Because I was thinking like, you know, it was going to take some time, you know. I mean, I was not expecting that quick.
Because I remember you said to me in that session, you said, "Oh, I've had 37 centuries," and I said, "What's your target?" "I want to get 100 centuries."
Yes.
I thought, well, wow, that's a massive target. Because how many years did it take to get 37?
Actually, it took me 2 years, around 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah, like when I started playing snooker, first year I had my highest 70 something. Second year I made my first century.
Yeah.
And then third year, for whole year it was a big gap. You know, I can't make another century. I was thinking maybe lucky. I made a century. Well, no, I can't make another one. But then I made my second century after a year. And then it just, you know, it just came afterwards. Like it's coming after a week, after a month. After 2 months, then I made another 4th century, 5th century.
Yeah.
But gradually I was getting consistent. But still, there was something missing, you know.
Yeah, great. So, congratulations on your 100th century. I mean, that's a massive milestone. For most players, a century is a dream. Many players have played 10 years and not even approached 100 break standard, despite doing a lot of the good practices and technical principles. So congratulations for that. So what I really want to get to is, what is it that you applied in your game that helped you go from 37 tons in 2 or 3 years to within the next 12 months, because you're on 110 centuries now?
111 just made yesterday, was 123. So.
Oh, well done.
That's good.
So 1 2 3, that's neat and tidy. And out of interest, is your highest break? Did you beat your highest break this year?
Yeah, 139. Well, my highest was 134. I missed a 1 for some, you know, so it was I missed a pink in the middle, so it was great.
Okay, but you got 139?
Yes, highest.
But you didn't refuse the black?
No.
Only Ronnie would do that. So you've had 111 centuries now, and what was it that you applied in your game that helped you go from one to the other?
The thing is, the main thing I think that I've improved, like just because of my pre-shot routine, that's what I've changed in my game.
And what is it that in your pre-shot routine that has helped you to make that level improvement, that step of improvement?
It's like you know, the way I approach the shot. Before I'm standing, that's what I used to do from the beginning. That I look the line of the white ball, where's the white going and everything. That's nothing different. But the thing what I'm doing is now I'm approaching into the shot. I'm going to the shot more like in more proper way, not going like this, just going straight down to the shot. That's the thing, and that's the main thing I was doing, and actually focusing on the contact point. And looking at the contact point on the object ball, I'm actually aligning my body with that.
So as you get down, you're fixing your eyes on the object ball, What were you doing before?
Before I was not focusing so much on the contact point. I was looking like sometime on the cue ball or on the object ball,
got it.
and I just going randomly into the shot. You know?
Okay.
And now I have a fixed like pre-shot routine. I'm looking at the object ball, and by looking at the contact point on the object ball, I'm aligning my body with that. Like I align myself,
right,
and then fix the position, and I don't move. I don't fish under the shot. You know. And
yeah, no fishing.
Yeah. So I don't do that anymore. So it's
that's terrific, and that's often a big improvement point for players, because the players aren't really conscious about what they're looking at as they approach, and it's very common where they'll be looking at the cue ball on approach, and of course you lose focus on the object ball then, and it's easy to come in offline. But as you found, is if you focus on the object ball, you can see the white balls here very clearly, so it's much easier to keep online.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah.
And what else were you doing to stay online? You said before you were maybe moving sideways into the shot. So is there anything specific you were doing to help the head go down like an elevator, perfectly straight down?
Yeah, it's this because I'm standing behind the line of the shot like this, you know, and put my right leg on the line of the shot, and then I tilt my body, like tilt my face.
Got it, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, so I don't go like this. So if I tilt myself, so I go straight down to the shot by looking at the contact.
Got it.
Object ball.
Yes.
So that's what I'm doing to approach very straight in the shot.
Yeah, so for the guys watching, then there are basically two approaches. If that's the line of aim, then you can either put the head on the line, one foot either side of the line, but what you're saying is you've got the right foot on the line, and then you tilt over. So then you've got the best of both worlds. You've got foot on the line and the head on the line. The cameras being the most important thing.
That's true.
Yeah. So most of the modern day players have one foot either side of the line of aim, but there are still some who lean over. Back foot on the line, leaning over. Both are valid. So whichever one suits you best.
It's not massive, because when I'm standing, I'm standing like this.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're like this.
You don't need to do it a lot, do you?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Anything apart from the pre-shot routine? Is there anything that you've been doing that has helped you increase your scoring?
Yeah, it's another thing I want to discuss. Like in pre-shot routine, I'm not doing it like I'm taking the step like properly, like in a proper arrangement. Like step 1 is I know I'm starting. Step 2, I'm looking on the contact point. Step 3, I know where's the white going, and that's how I approach. It's not like first I think about the cue ball, then I look at the object ball. It's proper, step by step. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I've improved.
Yeah, the sequence actually you'd want is work out your cue ball first, then focus on.
Yes, and it's every time it's same. It's not like
perfect.
Yes. And another thing I changed is like I had a session with you, and you gave me a massive tip, about holding the cue a bit inside, because I was holding like at the end of my cue.
Okay.
So now I'm holding a bit here, so it start feeling. I mean, after it took me like 2 weeks, and then it become natural to me, and I feel much better.
So how did that help you? Were you at address position? Were you backwards or vertical then? Or why did we suggest going?
I was a little bit like, I was not so vertical, I was not normal.
Yeah, so backwards or vertical at rest. Okay, so that made you a bit more vertical.
Yeah, a bit more vertical and much better. Like, I mean, when I finish my follow through, I'm hitting at the right point, like finishing in the...
Oh yeah, because I think sometimes because you're backwards or vertical, sometimes on delivery your hand wasn't reaching the chest, is that right?
Yeah, it was like my grip was coming earlier than my follow through, like maximum follow through. So my grip comes early before like this. So I was more like I was snatching it.
Okay, so if you went vertical, you're just holding a bit looser, are you?
Yeah, a bit looser, and it feels like the cue is working. The cue is
that's interesting.
Yeah.
And that's a very common experience actually for players. If they've got a backwards or vertical approach, there's often very tension in the arm, and that can just prevent the sense of control and feeling and fluidity. It's often amazing the difference a player feels going vertical. It's like a pendulum then. It's like a loose pendulum.
And believe me, it took some time. I was thinking, let's go back. You know, I can't play like this. But I stick with it. I mean, I said like that's my nature. I always give a new technique, for example, a time a bit. You know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So I thought I stick with it. I thought no, even though I'm feeling not good with this, I should give it at least 2 weeks, and then it came. You know.
How long did it take to feel natural and a part of your game?
2 weeks. As I said, yeah, it took me 2 weeks. Like within a week, I was feeling like, oh, it's getting there. I'm getting there. You know.
Well done.
For 2 weeks, I was like, now I can't play with like holding a cue. I can't play.
Could I make you do that again?
No.
Yes, it's really interesting that some people will quit after 2 minutes or 2 hours or 2 days of it not being absolutely perfect immediately, because this is the Facebook generation. We want instant gratification, but sometimes it takes a bit of time. But well done for sticking with that. And apart from that, was there anything else, or were they the main things that helped you?
No, it's just a massive pre-shot routine was the massive thing, because that put me into the zone, you know. Like, because if I used to get like disturbed with, I mean, when someone talks, I used to get like disturbed. You know, I was like, now I know that I find a secret. You know, I have such a proper pre-shot routine. I have such a sequence. I'm going in a pattern. You know, in a pre-shot routine. So if someone disturbs me, I stand up again. Like, okay, that's my pre-shot routine. Come back again. You know, and then you get into the zone. So I think the pre-shot routine is the massive thing.
Yeah, it was so interesting that you say there about being in the zone, and something as simple as a pre-shot routine. Obviously, it helps you find the line of aim and stay on it as you approach. But also, you mentioned something there about if people distract me, or it's less easy to get distracted because you've got something very specific to do with your mind.
Yes.
The mind has less scope to drift, doesn't it? Whereas if there's no pre-shot routine, it's just play what you feel like.
Yes.
Very easy to lose concentration.
That's true. I know. I mean, we play in a club, you know, and it's not like that. It's not every time quiet environment, you know. And people, I mean, they go up in front of my line of aim, you know. And now I know that I stand up again, get back in the zone, and it happens 1,000 times. It's not like.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I think so. I find a trick how to get into the zone, you know.
So what we're saying is that a couple of very simple, apparently minor suggestions that you've applied very, very well have made a huge difference in. From the outside, it looks like a transformation in break building, but actually, all you've done is you've just tightened up your focus.
That's true.
You've improved the consistency of your pre-shot approach. Many players just assume, how difficult can it be to get on the line of aim? Easy. Needs a bit of care.
That's true.
But not too much, but a little bit of care. And a bit more fluency on the cueing, that probably helped and would prevent some misses, especially with power. But it's really interesting to hear that a big change in performance didn't necessarily need massive surgery and a whole new technique and 19,000 different changes.
Yes.
So
it's amazing. Yeah, that's little things, you know. That worked for me, to be honest. But it's amazing that how can be so consistent. I was not expecting that early, you know, as I told you. I was expecting maybe in 2 years I was going to make 100 centuries, but within a year, so I was over the moon.
Yeah. So I just want to congratulate you again. Well done for crossing your landmark.
Yes, and thank you for your help also. I mean, I can't do so many centuries in such a short period, you know. Without you, I mean, it's just I really want to thank to you also, you know.
Well, thank you.
I mean, yes, thank you so much for that.
Yeah, thank you very much. I mean, this talk was more about helping others find out, get an insight into your experience. And these ideas that I've spent my life looking for work. And so my job is just to act as a messenger, really, for a player who wants to get an improvement in performance. And so you've done that very well. Thank you for sharing your message with the interweb. And I hope you guys can have a go at applying some of these lessons that Umr has, with such mastery, demonstrated this year. And here's to 1,000 centuries. You never know.
You never know. Yes, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot for your time. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you.
The professionals are thinking almost like there's only one more ball on the table. So they're thinking almost like that last red next to the pink, where I have to be perfect on this, because actually they do. To keep the break going for 4, 5, 6, 8 more shots, they do need to be that accurate. Do what a lot of players do, which is stand behind the line of the red. Okay, I've got that line, then very quickly go to the white and then play. Players feel that gives them more control, but actually it gives them less.